Good evening, dear students and learners. Namaskar. You all are watching us on eVidya channel number 6 to channel number 12 and also on our YouTube channel, that is ncertofficial. And I am Kusum Prasad. This is our very special session Sahyog, in which we talk about mental well-being of the students and we try to provide psychosocial support as well. And today's topic is those who win are those who believe they can. And to discuss on this topic, our today's expert are Dr. Neha Jha ma'am. Namaskar ma'am, you are welcome in this session ma'am.
Namaskar, namaskar.
Ma'am is practicing counselor and also professor in psychology from Kalinga Institute of Social Sciences. And our second guest is Mrs. Kuna Lalita ma'am. Welcome ma'am. Namaskar ma'am.
Namaskar.
Ma'am is assistant professor RIE Bhubaneswar NCERT. So dear students and learners, if you want to send your queries, your feedback, you can contact us through our various medium. You can call us by our phone number, that is 8800440559. You can also send your queries through our email, that is sahyog.ncert@ciet.nic.in. And apart from this, you can also drop your messages on our YouTube channel, that is NCERT Official. So dear students and learners, before we begin this session, we want to share a very important announcement regarding G20. We are proud that India assumed the G20 presidency and will convene the G20 Leaders Summit for the first time in the country in 2023. A nation deeply committed to democracy and multilateralism, India's G20 presidency would be a watershed moment in our history as it seeks to play a very important role by finding pragmatic global solution for the well-being of all. And in doing so, manifest the true spirit of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, or the world is one family. So we move to our session, and my very first question is to Lalita ma'am. Ma'am,
Yes.
please explain the topic. Those who win are those who believe they can, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. So today our topic is those who win are those who believe they can. Yes, you can achieve anything if you believe in yourself. This saying holds true in our walks of life. There are many autobiographies about famous personalities that have turned them from rags to riches. So what did they do? They never gave up their attitude, and they believe in their ability. So we have to keep ourselves motivated whenever we struggle with our tasks. However difficult the task may seem, there is always something you can do and succeed at. Believing in yourself is the first secret of success, which means to have confidence in your own abilities. It means being able to trust yourself to do what you say you will do. So it kicks to get all sorts of psychological processes that helps us to manifest our dreams and increase our well-being. Nothing changes in your life until you believe you can do things that are important to you. So belief creates wisdom. Belief creates strength of will. It creates resilience. So it gives the power to withstand. It ignites and activates, just how a key starts the car. Okay. So if you have a low opinion on yourself, nobody else is likely to raise it. So why don't we believe in ourselves? So what is the reason? The reason is that we fear failure. So, and every time we focus on all the time we have failed, we focus on the lack in our life. So instead of the abundance which we have in our life, no one ever succeeds without being rejected. Expect to hear the word no, and you will be ready to overcome this time after time. So when someone tells me, I can't do it, I can't do this, okay, it simply means that I can't do it with them. So it is important to realize that no one has ever fallen while stepping out on faith. So what is the faith? Faith is that we have to understand that faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase. So this is the confidence. The way to develop the self-confidence is to do the thing which you fear the more, and get a record of that successful experiences behind you. It makes you to feel sure yourself and your abilities. So confidence should be realistic, not in an arrogant way. So don't be on the negative side, because confidence is not feeling superior to others. It is an inner knowledge that you are capable. Know your skills and strengths to handle whatever the situation may be. Feel ready to everyday challenges which you face like the competitions, interviews, examinations, performances, whatever may be the challenge. Be ready to face it. Every time think that I can do. No, I can't do. Okay. So the lack of confidence can hold people back from reaching their full potential. So the biggest difference we find, so I have noticed between the successful people and unsuccessful people. It's not the intelligent, it's not the opportunity or resources. It is the only belief that they can make their goals happen. So we deal with many situations in our day-to-day life like vulnerability, uncertainty, failures. Okay. So first trust that if we move forward anyway, then we will figure it out. So whenever I discover any opportunity in my life which sounds awesome, but I'm not qualified for that, even though I trust that I will figure it out anyway. So this is just believe in myself. This gives confidence for me. This confidence has made the difference for me again and again. I didn't need any intelligence or opportunity or any resources, just a simple belief in myself. So, one of the most foundational beliefs of this community is that you can become better. We believe that it is possible for human beings to improve. We believe that it is possible to rise the bar in your own life, even if the world around you accepts average. We believe in ourselves and in each other. We believe that if you want better health or more happiness or more meaningful job, that you can make those things happen with only belief in yourselves. Because of this belief, we are willing to test, experiment, and try new things even when we feel uncertain. If you don't believe that it's possible to make new things work, then it's hard to make any progress. Don't care how good the ideas are. Nothing will work you if you don't believe in it. So to feel truly confident, you need to really believe you are capable. The best way to get that belief is through using skills and talents in you, and we can improve our skills and talents by learning and practicing. So let us come explore the best in ourselves and move towards the direction to believe in yourself. So belief can help you climb mountains. So get up and get moving on this.
Lalita ma'am talk about belief. So ma'am, what is the importance of believing in oneself, ma'am?
Okay, since Lalita ma'am has spoken a lot about self-belief, I would not be discussing it in detail, but in very short, I'll tell you. See, in psychology and as a psychologist, we use a term called self-efficacy. So this was the term which was coined by Bandura. So what is self-belief or self-efficacy? I'll tell you. This is a person's belief in their ability to complete tasks and to achieve their goals. So, Bandura said that self efficacy is built on one's belief in the likelihood of future success. Now, what does this mean? I'll tell you. Those who believe they can influence the events of their lives have high self efficacy, while those who feel they are not in control and have little or no impact on what will happen to them in future have low self efficacy. Now, let me explain this with an example. Say, for instance, a student who who believes that his result or his performance is in his hands. If he works hard, if he pay more attention in the class, he's going to succeed or he's going to get good marks. So this is something which he feels is in his control, right? So this student has got a higher self-efficacy. On the other hand, if a student feels that the result is not in his hand, the question might be tough, or the teacher might correct the paper very strictly, so this student is very low in self efficacy. So this is the difference. Okay, so when you judge yourself to be capable of success, that increases your chance of actual success, and when you judge yourself as not capable of success, that reduces the chances of success. So this is very important, and we all should be knowing this. Now, as you asked me, what is the importance of self-belief, right? So first and foremost, I would like to explain what happens if somebody is having lower self-belief. So if you have low self-belief, that is going to result in shyness, communication difficulties, social anxiety, and lack of assertiveness. Okay, so if in case you experience any of the negative or disappointing experience, that is going to change the overall perception about your own self. Okay, so I'll explain this with an example as well. So say for instance, if a student has scored less marks in mathematics, now what is going to happen is he would feel that he's stupid, or he is not worth it, or he is not capable. Now this is going to initiate a cycle of negative thinking. The cycle starts and you're going to expect negative from the future, that is going to discourage you from trying as well. So this is going to lead to very, very disappointing outcomes. So as I said about this student, what is going to happen is, as he did not score well in mathematics, now what he's going to think is that I'm not a good student, maybe I'll never score good marks in mathematics in future. And as a result, what will happen is the child will stop trying. What he'll do is he would say that, see, I'm never going to get good marks, so now I'm not going to try even. Now I'm going to focus more on other subjects and leave mathematics. So this is what happens normally. So it has led to very disappointing outcome, which is giving up, right? So this is something which is very common among students. Now I'll tell you and explain you one very interesting concept, which is known as inner critic. Now what happens is we, all of us usually think that we have critics outside, outside us in the outside world, but this is not true. Why it is not true? Because we have a critic inside us, we have a critic within us. So this is a voice. This is nothing. This is a voice which is very loud, which is within us. And if you are lower in the self-belief, so this voice is going to create a lot of distress, lot of distress. It is going to tell you that you are worthless, you are useless, you are good for nothing. And this is going to add to your anxiety. This is going to make you more anxious, more angry, or sometimes more stressed, right? So if you start believing your inner critic, you are going to think more negative about yourself. You are going to believe the negative thoughts are always true. You're going to ignore your strength and abilities. You're going to focus more on your mistakes and failings, and you're going to ignore the positive aspects in total, okay? You're going to expect the worst. You're going to avoid challenges or situations where you feel you could be judged by others. You think you don't deserve to be happy, to have pleasure, or to have fun, okay? So I am going to explain it with a very good example. So if you are lacking on the self-belief and you receive a low mark for an assignment, so what a student is going to think is, what else could I expect? I'm stupid. And this has proved, my marks has proved it. And so I must, or I might leave studying. Now, if on the other hand, you have a very healthy self-belief, the child is going to think, I wonder where I went wrong. I'll find out the reason. I can do better next time. So although you are very disappointed by the low mark, it's not that you are not disappointed. Of course, if you have received the low mark, you are disappointed, but you don't feel diminished. You don't feel shattered. So this is the importance of self-belief, or what you asked me.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, how to improve self-belief among students?
Okay. See, self-belief, as I said, is very important. It gives you power of creativity. It helps you develop personally. It is going to give you success in your life. It is going to give you freedom to make more and more mistakes and to learn more. It is going to help you recognize your opportunities. So see, this is a very good question. How can we improve our self-belief? So first and foremost, I would suggest it is very important for all of us to recognize the negative thoughts. You should practice to listen to your own thoughts. Now, we have automatic thought in psychology. So this is something which is not conscious, which suddenly pops up, into your head. And that is something you need to pay attention to, okay? So whenever you're noticing a negative thought, just grab onto it. You just write it down, or just sit back and think about it for a moment. Now you don't have to think very long about it, okay? So what you can do is, why am I telling you to write it down or to think about it, is that you have to rephrase that thought. Now how you're going to rephrase it? You are going to rephrase it into a positive or at least neutral thought. Now take an example, if you catch yourself thinking, you're such a failure. Now, what you say to yourself, you can't do anything right. Now, what you have to do is, you have to replace it with a more forgiving phrase. Now, what do I mean by forgiving phrase? everyone makes mistake, you know. Sometimes I bet I can do better next time, right? So this is how you have to think of. The second is challenging yourself. Now, the best way in which you can boost your self confidence is to open about yourself. You know, you have to open to the new experiences and you have to allow yourself to succeed. Now, what happens is, I would suggest, like, you know, every student also, this is the advice to all the students, that they should get into certain activity which is of interest to them, of course, and which is little adventurous, you know, which has a challenge in it. It could be anything, like, you know, maybe you can go to the cooking class, or you can go to marathon, or, you know, anything, painting, etc. Whatever is of the area of your interest, whatever you know, appeals you. So you should take part in those activities. You have to you know, take new risk. You have to grow your confidence, and you can watch yourself growing, you know. Now, the next I would suggest is the self care. You know, in today's world, see, everybody, every one of us is very busy. Like, you know, we are just running behind something. There's cutthroat competition. Now, what has happened is we have forgotten to take care about of our own selves. You know, see, we are into different roles. Like, if I talk about myself, see, I'm working somewhere. I'm a mother. I'm a wife. I'm a sister. I'm a daughter. Right? But somewhere in this, you know, fast-paced world, we have forgotten to take care of ourselves, you know. But let me tell you, self-care is incredibly important for all of us, you know, because that has an influence on the self-confidence. You have to show yourself that you are very, very valuable. You know, the time you start saying yourself that you have a value, you're going to feel more confident in your ability, and you will be motivated to prove that yes, if you have believed yourself, if you say that you are valuable, that is very right. Okay, so you have to remember that self care is very important, and it's not just about taking a massage or going to a salon, or, you know, just watching the Netflix. When I say self care, this means that you have to take care of your body, of your mind, of your soul. You have to eat healthy, you have to exercise daily, you have to give yourself break, and you have to engage in stuff which you find peaceful, you know, which you find is little, you know, it gives you confidence, or it gives you happiness. You have to get indulged into those things. Now, next, I would say we should always learn to accept failure. Now, this is something which I feel as a parent, you know, everybody should make their child learn how to face failures, because, you know, in today's time, what has happened, everybody wants to succeed, everybody wants to be at the top, you know. So a first rank holder, 95%, 98%. So you know, this is something which we as parents have done to our kids, you know. We have taught them, this is something which they have learned from us, you know. We have always appreciated somebody who has achieved a lot. Okay, usko dekho, you know, uska beta, he had secured 90%, or he has got into IIT, why didn't you do that? But, you know, we have forgotten somewhere that we should make our child learn that failure is an aspect, you know. It's just a like, you know, I would say it's a side of the coin, as coin has two sides. So success and failures both are the aspects of life. So we should always take risk. We should teach our kids that, you know, whenever you take risk, whenever you do a new thing, whenever you are stretching on your goals for yourself, there are chances that you may fail. You know, sometimes you will be able to do it, sometimes you may not be able to do this, you know. But what you have to tell yourself is that, okay, I have put a lot of effort into this, and I'm proud that I have worked so hard for it. And even as a parent, you know, we all should also encourage and tell our child that although you fail, it's fine, you know, it's fine, at least you tried. And this is something which I'll tell you with a very real example. My daughter, she is 8 years old. She doesn't like failing, you know, in any of the activity, like not only her school things, any games, any sports outside the school. So what I tell her is, ki, okay, you failed in this, it's fine. You should accept it very gracefully, and you should be proud of yourself that at least you tried. Okay, so we need to teach our students, and we also need to inculcate this thought within ourselves that we don't always need to succeed to be proud of ourselves and be confident about our abilities. Okay, so next, I would say we should always work on our strengths and not weaknesses. This is something which is very important for the youth to understand, you know, because see, Sometimes it happens if we fail on something which appears very easy for the another person, so we lose our belief from our own selves. We feel very depressed. We feel that maybe we are not so capable, but this is not true. You
Neha
need to
ma'am,
understand.
Neha ma'am, some questions are here. Sunny Kumar is asking, ma'am, I have given CBSE exam and my teachers have complete trust that uh, the marks will be above 96%. But he says that, but if it will come less, so I am very nervous. What should I do, ma'am?
Yeah, this is what. See, when these are the false expectations which we put on the child, which we put on the student. Like as a parent, also we tell them that you have to bring 95%, or you're nothing if you are not securing 95%. So the student has got a lot of pressure. There are peer pressure, there are pressure from your family, there is a pressure from your own self that you have to compete. Now, what happens is when the child feels ki क्या होगा अगर ऐसा नहीं हुआ तो what if things doesn't turn the way I have thought of, so they start feeling fearful, they start feeling anxious. So what you have to do is you have to come out of that false expectation. You should be knowing what are the goals which you have set, what are the realistic goals you have set, what is the how much you can achieve in real. And even if you don't achieve, I would suggest him that it's fine. This is an exam. Of course, I'm very sure you must have performed very well. You must have studied a lot. And I'm very sure whatever the results come up, it's fine. Even if you do not get 95, 96%, even if you're securing 90%, it's not at all bad. You have to be confident about whatever you are gaining, whatever marks you're gaining. Be happy. It's fine. It's life. It goes on. Do not stress yourself too much. Do not be anxious. Yeah. So I wish him all the best. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. My next question is to Lalita, ma'am. What strategies should be used by teachers to encourage students to have self-belief, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am has spoke many things about tips to increase the belief. Okay, so what are the strategies to be implemented by the teacher in the school? Okay, teachers know that when students feel good about themselves, they're able to achieve more in the classroom. This gives them, this encourages them. So, as a teacher, you have to foster the can-do attitudes and build confidence by setting the students for success and providing frequent feedbacks. Feedback is a very important technique and very useful technique for the teacher to improve the confidence in the students and believe in themselves. Okay, so this is the role of both teachers and parents. So good self-esteem and good feedback, the good feedback improves the good self-esteem of the student. So how to give helpful feedback and encouraging feedback to the student? So when you give a feedback to the student, avoid assigning values to the students. So with your feedback,
Lalita,
tell
ma'am,
students,
one
yes,
more feedback is there. He is saying that he is very demotivated from maths exam, ma'am. What should he should do, ma'am?
yes,
He is very
don't
much
get
nervous, ma'am.
Yes, yes. Demotivation is lacking belief in yourself. So when you get demotivated, just go to into your past. Okay, dwell the positives and dwell the past experiences in which you have succeeded. Okay, collect all those experiences, how well you have performed there. So it gives you motivation. It gives you the strength. This is one type of building the capability. So you can dwell the past experiences and motivate yourselves, and you can do. So think every time that I can do, so you
Yes,
can
ma'am.
achieve in the next.
One more message we have received. He is saying that the examination are over, but the thought is killing from inside that he is very quite nervous, ma'am.
So which thought is killing?
That what will be the result and what is going, whether he will get more marks what he has expected or not, ma'am.
Yes, even from our Bhagavad Gita shlokas also we learn that do whatever you are assigned with. Don't expect the results. Every time it may be not a positive result, or every time it may be not a negative result. So we must be ready to accept the negatives also. Okay, but be positive. So as you believe in yourself, so I can achieve it. Okay. So if there is negative also, no issue. Okay, every negative result, gives you more motivation. Don't think that your mistakes are not that hard to you. So this gives you motivation. Learn from the mistakes where you have done the mistake. So from that you can recover, and again you can put your skills and strengths and you can achieve from that. Okay, so maybe it is a negative or a positive, so it gives you one more lesson.
यस मैम। और मैम जैसा कि आपने कोट करा भगवत गीता से, और भगवत गीता में कहते हैं कर्म करते जाओ, फल की चिंता मत करो। तो हमें भी
Yes.
अपना वर्क करना है, हमें ये नहीं देखना कि रिजल्ट क्या आएगा, और रिजल्ट नेचुरल सी बात है, अच्छा ही आएगा, जैसा भी आएगा उसे हमें एक्सेप्ट करना है। तो आप दोनों गेस्ट्स का, दोनों एक्सपर्ट्स का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। थैंक यू सो मच नेहा मैम एंड ललिता मैम for guiding our students and learners, ma'am. Now it's time to wind up this session, dear students and learners. Before we wind up, we want to share a very important announcement regarding G20 with you. We are proud that India assumed the G20 presidency and will convene the G20 Leaders Summit for the first time in the country in 2023. A nation deeply committed to democracy and multilateralism, India G20 presidency would be a watershed moment in our history, as it seeks to play a very important role by finding pragmatic global solution for the well-being of all, and in doing so manifest the true spirit of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, or the world is one family. और इसी के साथ हमारा आज का ये सत्र ही समाप्त होता है, और हमें दीजिए इजाज़त। नमस्कार।